Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to beat all the campaigns, well almost all the campaigns, only using ranged units. This shouldn't really be that difficult of a challenge because ranged units are pretty good, very OP, especially some of them. So let's see how this goes. I don't really think it will be that hard, but I do think it can get a little bit hard in some places. But anyway, now we have a first level. Which is just a tree tribe, pretty easy one. Let's get this out of the way quickly. I have just gone with an entire group of poachers. Should be pretty easy to deal with them, considering half of them just jump off and take extreme amounts of fall damage, even the ones which don't. Shields can be a big problem in this run, however, given the fact that if a lot of arrows hit a shield, it will literally bounce back, making shields pretty actually irrelevant, because all you have to do is just hit them a lot of times and sometimes they'll completely go through them. Our poachers are actually also pretty good. Okay, now we're moving on to the next level. Again, this shouldn't be that hard, these beginning levels. This is the adventure campaign, by the way. Hay and pitchfork again. I still think that using just poachers would do pretty well. This might actually be a just only poacher challenge. Not really know about that. Maybe I'll try to use some more, more fun Texas, but I think poachers is just the way to go here. There we are. There we are, the fire has been going on. I do think that I'll actually be able to get rid of these haystacks pretty well. Well, actually no. Actually those haystacks are pretty effective. Okay, well this isn't really going to go to plan that well. How about this time we'll do a little bit of pikes, blow darters. Actually, these haystacks and all the shields may prove a little bit hard to deal with, but I still think we can do it. It should be pretty easy. There we are. There we are. We have poisoned them. And let's see, the thing about poison is we are going to have to kill them through the amount of dosage. However, I don't really think I will really be able to do that much once we poison them. But actually getting back up, which is pretty not that great. Yeah, this is also seemed to be a not really that effective of a strategy. Okay, let's go back. And this time think of a more effective strategy. Actually, I have one perfectly. It's the wizard. Actually, no. The wizard is a half unit. He also has a melee weapon, which is not that great. I do just want a pure ranged weapon, so let's go with some catapults and a couple of archers. We should be pretty effective at killing them. There we are. That's a lot of fire going out, and boom, a lot of haystacks are dead. And now another volley, and everything should be ready. There we are. Some big volleys coming in here. There we are. Now there's only 3 left. Should be pretty easy for us to take care of them. Okay, that one catapult is down. However, the second one did kill it. Well, this might not actually go to plan. There are still 2 of them alive, however the catapult has just reloaded, so this should be a pretty easy one. Okay, that was terrible aim. That's actually incredibly bad aim. There is no way that catapult has such bad aim. That's incredible. There we are, come on. Now we spam him, come on. We just attack. Attack. Now we hold our distance because that's very important. There we are. And we circle around them and use their bad AI to our advantage. There we are, just stab at them. Should work out pretty well for us. Probably wouldn't even need to dodge. There we are. So we can just swing these noobs. Yeah, pretty much we're all dead. Now there's only one guy left. He's very annoying, but there we are. Okay, let's see what we have next. Okay, nothing to see here. Again, it's just an extreme amount of... yeah, I'd say just 2 catapults. I could again go with Chronomancer, but I don't think that would be really fun. And we're going to go ahead and just fire, and there we are, some big impacts already. A lot of them dead. Let's use this one to move up. Just a little bit. Be a bit more tactical, and... okay, that was... not that great for volley. I'm strategically backing up. Okay, come on. It's dead. Fire. That was a big shot, another big shot. And now we go in for melee. Actually, no, there's still a little bit more time left. Come on. We just bury our point blank shot. And now we just go ahead and kind of try to ram you. Didn't really work. That's an extremely long reload. This might actually not be that easy to win. Okay, that was a horrible miss. There we are. We have a nice big volley. Killing a lot from. Okay, what is that? What is happening to that guy over there? Okay, he's spinning a lot more tabs. Now let's go ahead and fire on the bridge. A lot of them are dead. Now we just wait a second and reload. Okay, repositioning a little bit more strategically. There we are. Now we fire up. A little bit of team killing, but that's okay. On to the next level. Let's see what we have here. We have again Final Destination. Won't really work that well, so just going to have to go ahead and execute them right now. Just waiting for them to fall off. There we are. Okay, that was unfortunate. An unfortunate miss. That was a very weird grab. Come on. There we are. Okay, that was a horrible miss. How did he survive? That was a full-on hit from a sword. Okay, this time I'll just go ahead and also go all Fathlings. We have a good old fist fight brawl. See how this goes. Oh, that was a big lunge. Come on. Okay, he's grabbing me very hard right now. I need to grab a little bit more harder. There we are. I have a good punching time. There we are. Okay, now we're dead. Okay, this is actually going to be a little bit more fun because now what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to... Okay guys, so now we have just a couple of hobbits, a lot of hobbits, but this time we're going to use some bowmen. Let's see how they do. And there we are, the first shots have been fired. And there we are, a lot of them are hitting now. A pretty good volley by the archers over here, killing a lot of them. A lot of them are seeming to move up pretty strangely. Okay, there we are in our volley going in there, killing a lot more of them. However, there's only a couple of hobbits left. They have closed the distance, however they are getting fired at in point blank range, so they probably won't last that much longer. There we are, getting picked off again. Somehow a lot of them are actually still alive. I might need to readjust the position over here to be a bit more tactical and pick a nice shot. And there we are. Good fire. And there we are. Nice shot. Pretty much hit someone, I think. Probably. Backing up is a very smart tactical decision to do as an archer. There we are. Now I've repositioned, I have prime opportunity to fire my bow again. There's a miss. Okay, come on and fire. Track the shots pretty well. Wait a second, what? There's actually a couple of them which are still alive. Okay, I aim for this one. Oh, he dodged it. Okay. Okay, this time, so this was a decent strategy, but I'd say we still need a little bit more. Now all we have to do is just wait a little second, and there we are. Now we're all definitely dead. Boom. Now we back up strategically, pulling a couple of our archers back, making sure that they don't die, and now we team kill very strategically. Actually, that was a complete miss. This is actually a very bad kind of accuracy. Okay, now there's only this guy left, and we fire at point blank. Again, we missed. That's crazy. Let's just run him over here. There we are. On to the next battle. Let's see, what do we have next. Alright, we have... Okay, this is another easy level. Let's just skip past this one. Completely easy. Okay, now we have all the bones again. This shouldn't take that much time. I'd say we line up 2 catapults, both on the sides, and after that we also have some archers which are going to... Actually, let's make a little bit more of a proper formation. Here we are, a proper formation line. Well, actually, that doesn't really work. There we are. And the archers are going to be a little bit more of a delayed feature. Let's go. There we are. Big first shots from them. And now we're just going to have to need the archers to clean everything up. And there we are. A lot of them have now open volley, and there we are. Pretty effective strategy. Again, this is another final destination one, pretty easy to beat. The tiniest attack, again with all the hobbits, so I suggest using again another catapult at the back with some nice archers. But also this time let's just go ahead and use a little bit more of poachers. And actually I'll make a little bit of an allowance. You are actually also allowed to use the banner bearer, because without it this wouldn't really be very effective for our strategy. There we are. I think this is a pretty valid strategy. Also with the banner bearers are a little bit more fun. There we are. First shots are being fired. Okay, come on, reload, reload. You guys have a lot of them to take out. And there we are. That's lots of hobbits dead. Okay, poachers. That's your turn. And take him down. Okay, another big volley from the catapult too. That was a great catapult fired. Alright, come on now. Come on, my poachers, you have to take down them. Alright, this isn't really going to be that much of an effective strategy. Okay, that was a nice catapult shot. Okay, I'm taking control. I'm on fire. Oh, that was an incredibly bad team kill. However, these are perfect for close range encounters. Okay, that's really not great. Okay, come on. Just fire a shot. This is not going great. I don't think we are winning right now. Okay, the banner bear needs to actually do something. Otherwise, it's not really going to be that great. Hold your line, men. We just have to attack. There we are. And now it is over for you, my halfling. There we are. Big bunk. Okay, on to the next battle. Bread and butter, again, pretty easy. Put a big old catapult shot first. After that, we're going to go ahead and put up some blow darters. Actually, no, not blow darters. We're going to have a little bit more. Actually, only 5. That's actually pretty bad, but okay. We'll go ahead and do a 5. There we are. Poachers. Fire shots. There we are. Fired a lot of more shots. Come on, fire more shots. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Now we back up, we reposition. I'm not sure we're going to have enough time to do it. Okay. I wasn't really that great for strategy. I do think that the catapult is the way to go here, but at the same time, we are going to have to do a little bit more strategic gameplay over here. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to be a bit more tactical. There we are. Poison the shield, poison the shield. You can't really poison the shield. Just worry about that. Okay, come on, you better. Okay, nope, that's too close for my liking and natures. How can I forget? We can only get 5, which is pretty bad. But 5 should do the trick. If we just get a little bit more lucky, if we just get good RNG, I genuinely think that will be pretty good. Okay, this is not going that right, guys. Come on, reload, reload, and fire a shot. That was a pretty good hit. Okay, how did this guy manage to get over here? There we are. How about snakes? Get him. The snakes are actually pretty powerful at low levels. Come on and reload. Fire. There we are. A pretty good volley. However, unfortunately, I am going to target it, but this is not okay. We can just go ahead and use our super speed. Actually, why did I get so much speed when I go sideways? That's actually pretty weird. There we are. This was a nice shot. Yeah, I somehow think that going sideways is very fast. Yeah, look at that, I'm just completely making fun of this guy. Not even funny how fast I am. Come on, come on, come on. And there we are, point blank shot. Completely missed, but it's okay. And there we are, last guy in victory. Again, snake archers are OP. Oh, this is actually pretty bad because these are rushers, which are specifically meant to counter ranged units. However, I do think we are in safe hands. We have a nice line of archers, which should take care of them pretty well. But even if they don't, that's okay. We still have a couple of blow orders at the back to stop them, and a couple of poachers, lines of poachers. Actually, not that many poachers. Poachers aren't really that useful area. A bit more blowouts. Okay, and fired. I fired my shot a bit early, and it did hit its target. However, in our line, Wally has been now hit, killing a lot of them. Now they are going to start coming in. However, that's what we have. Our poachers sort of completely died. However, we do have a bloodhound in the back, which are seeming to take them out a lot, and there we are. I believe this is going to be the last battle for today, and this is actually going to be very fun. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line up, just line up an entire 2 row of archers, which are all going to go ahead and stand their ground. No, actually this might be a little bit bad for team killing purposes, but I think they are going to do pretty well. If all we have to do is just now stand their ground. Behind them I will put some blood editors, which really should help out with making sure that none of the harvesters can really do anything once we get there. And then I'd say a bit more poachers. Yeah, this is a perfectly great formation. There we are firing the shots. There we are, the harvesters have been absolutely destroyed. Only one of them really died, but that's really all we need. There we are now, the second row of Wally has been coming in, and it just absolutely shreds these guys. Okay, come on, reload, and there we are. Just completely taking them down. That was actually not even funny. Okay, let's do this as for the last battle. Well, this is actually pretty good, very good for us. Again, I'll just put a single catapult over here, and the AI makes it so that they only go this way, so this should be pretty interesting. Now all I have to do is just go ahead and put some snake archers, and there we are. Easy fight. Well, actually no, I need this guy. There we are, pretty easy. Okay, these are going to go ahead and interrupt the battle a little bit, but that's okay. Nothing really that bad is going to happen. Okay, that's actually incredibly bad. That was an incredible fumble. However, I still think we have got this. Okay, come on, reload. And fire a shot. There we are. Big shots, kill pretty much every single one of them. Now the snake archers are going to reload. Fire a volleys, kill a couple of hoplites, and after that the catapult's going to do the rest. Okay, I think this is going to be the end for this episode. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.